is heading up to the code 3 chase. Suspect was last reported southbound on Highway 99.
Can you give me more info on that call? Just clearing another call. I'm headed over there. Closing.
Welcome to Go Gets Podcast, my I'm Colby.
And I once peed on a spider, but you can call me Felix.
Was this tactical? Were you in a war?
It was a life or death situation, I'll tell you that much.
Listen, the spider was looking at me.
He came at me with his fucking 8 eyes and his mean stare. He fucking, I was out minding my own business, peeing on a tree, and here he comes, just at me. What would you do? Just wiener in hand, pee stream going. You have to retaliate somehow. And how would you do it?
Oh God, it's hard. I feel like whenever that's like a man is running at you full speed. And you're not sure if the man is like going to run by you because there's some danger or whatever, or if like he's running at you to attack you, and you happen to already be holding a sword that's out of its halberd, like it's out of the sheath. Sorry, you're holding it. Yeah. How do you not just use the sword on the man? I don't know. That's just.
I mean, same thing. You're holding your sword out, but it's there's pee coming out of it, and this spider. He's basically just like a thug.
Yep.
He's coming at you.
Yep. Criminal.
You gotta use your only weapon. You gotta shoo him away. You gotta pee him away.
Yeah, and I mean the spider probably didn't die. I don't think spiders are like allergic to pee.
No, they didn't. He probably just like got really upset.
Oh. Ew.
I was like, oh, you came to my tree. I was just seeing what you were doing.
That does make me wonder if if you were working at a place that like was starting to get robbed and you just started peeing on the person that was robbing you, would they like stop?
I don't know. It depends. If they had a weapon, like if you just started peeing on them, would they get like so upset and leave, or would they
get so upset and just fucking kill you?
They're like, hey, what the fucking, then turn around and shoot you? Like,
dude, that's the thing. Like, that's like all the people that are like, wish a fucking home intruder would break into my house and kill them with my many guns. But like, the thing is, I've seen enough videos of like home intrusions that it really is a dice roll. Most of the time, if they hear that someone is there and like this person is like, I'm gonna fucking, and they're like not expecting, they're like, hey, get out of my house. And people are like, oh shit, we better leave. I don't want to fuck around. Because it's just more effort than it's worth. But there's also some that will go and find and then shoot you to death. So it's like you really are rolling the dice whenever you're like, get out of my house.
Hey, you get out of here, scat!
They're like,
fucking cat noises. Just, I think if someone has already broken into your house, I don't think like the commercials, like the fucking home intruder commercials. If like you flash a light at them, they'll be like, "Oh fuck, you seen me!"
Oh shit!
I think all bets are off. I think they're like in it to like fucking win it at that point. Like, if they're robbing your house and there's someone in the house, they'll definitely attack you.
I don't know. Like, I've seen a couple of home intrusions where, like somebody just, like, comes out of their bedroom in, like, underwear with, like, a bat, and, like, these, like, 3 dudes just run away. Because if you think about it from their perspective, right? Like, you typically, if you're picking a house to rob, you pick one in which you're gonna encounter little to no resistance. And whenever you meet an unexpected amount of resistance, like a half-naked man with a baseball bat, you're like, there are other houses we can rob. Like, it's fine. I don't even need to be bruised. It'll be okay. This guy probably doesn't remember what I look like. It's fine.
Yeah, they're like, this is just breaking and entering right now. We haven't graduated to assault and kidnap.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and also, I think criminals probably also know about as well as like us citizens do that, like, whenever you talk about like CSI, like you watch like all these criminal shows, you're like, oh yeah, if I'm the victim of a home intrusion, they're going to come out and they're going to like use their fingerprint dust and they're going to find those fingies all over the place and we're going to catch these crooks.
They're going to do 5x zoom and they're going to find my DNA all over it.
Yeah, and it never happens. Like my wife's car got broken into when we lived in an apartment and waited for the cops to come, and it was like half an hour, which, like, you know, if it was like an emergency situation, that's not great, but like, you know, just trying to do the right thing to file a police report, that way like insurance could do some stuff. And then like police showed up and my wife was like, I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was expecting someone to have like a kit, like, and like take fingerprints or take pictures or anything, but they just like listened to me and wrote some stuff down and then gave me a report number and walked away. And I was like, damn.
That's all they do. Like, they don't send forensics. They just send a beat cop.
They're not like, we gotta nail this bastard. He came in, he stole your yoga mat. Damn.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
get it back for you.
No offense to your wife, and I'm sure that sucked, but like, they aren't like a top scientist, and like government documents weren't like stolen. So like it wasn't important. They're like, they broke into your car. I'm sorry, these things happen all the time, but you're never getting that yoga mat back.
Yeah, yeah, you might as well file a claim with your insurance or whatever, try to get some money back. But this guy's long gone. In fact, you know what? He'll probably be back tomorrow night. We won't be here. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. This is the car breaking bandit. He's been on the loose. We never catch him though. He always strikes at night. We're always asleep.
Yeah. This guy's been on the loose since 1922. Since cars were invented, this guy's been breaking into cars. We never caught him once.
Yeah, never, not even a once. Now, if you were a government official, then maybe we'll care.
Then it may be a little different.
But they took all your vegetables. Oh no!
Oh no!
I'm sorry, I don't even like vegetables.
It's just like you just imagine that like somebody's gonna come and like try to do some science and spend some time, but like that's just never how it is.
Oh, they don't care. They're doing their minimal due diligence of showing up, taking a report, writing it down, and saying, all right, well, we'll keep our ears to the ground and maybe something will happen.
Yeah, that's like, whenever they do things like that, what that effectively is saying is like, well, the next time that we catch a guy next time that we're driving by a parking lot and see some guy breaking into a car, if we arrest him and he happens to be near where your car was robbed, we'll ask about your car. And if he says no, that's that. It wasn't him.
And that guy he's gone. He's forever. He was he even, did he even exist?
Yeah.
Did
who
your
knows?
car even get broken into?
That's
at that point.
The thing is,
Schrodinger's car.
Yeah, Schrodinger's car thief. My brother went to prison for like 8 years for
samesies.
Yeah, for like being part of like a robbery ring, right?
Ooh, bummer.
And the way in which we found out is like basically my grandparents were robbed, and my dad was like, well, there's like only one person who really knew that they were going to be gone, and I'm a little suspicious. But
we can't point fingers without definitive proof.
Yeah, so my dad called his dad, because we have two different dads, and basically just asked his dad like, hey, does he like have any clothes or like a shoe that's covered in oil? Because it looks like whoever robbed his grandparents stepped in it. And his dad was like, oh yeah, sure enough, it's like in the back of his closet. And so they were like, well, we got him. And that's
case closed.
That's literally the amount of proof you have to get to like investigate something. But like once they arrested him and his friends, then they were like, well, you know, all of his friends were like, oh yeah, you know, it was all this guy's thing. All the stuff was stored in this place. And then once they find out about that place, then it's like, well, you got to talk to those people, and you got to like see where they've been like selling things. And like, that's how you bust open and solve like 8 cases at the same time, is either you have to accidentally catch one of them in the act, or after the fact, someone who's not a cop has to be like, hey, I got a tip. It's this guy. And then that's it. Like, you have to hope that the cop is like, yeah, I got 20 minutes. I guess I'll go take a look.
Especially where we live. Like, we don't live like in a big city or anything. In big cities, they have like departments and like wings of people that investigate things all the time. But like a burglary is like on the bottom rung of what like they're investigating. So, like, burglaries, car break-ins, that's the least of their problems.
Yeah.
It's just, it sucks, but, I mean, you gotta hear the truth sometime.
Yeah, the thing is, like, our hometown, like, the amount of cops that they have is probably still in the single digits. It's probably 9.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
I even think less than that, but, like, what do I know? I don't see him that often. Every time I go out at night, I
sorry. Damn.
I'm drinking Pib still. I always see the same 2 cop cars parked where that silo is near the stoplights, and they're always fucking there. So like,
oh God, I'm looking at the website. Number 1, the website is horrific. Number 2, take a guess how many cops there are.
5. I know they were hiring. They were looking for more cops.
Ah, you were so close, Fee. It is 4.
Damn.
They've got a chief, a sergeant, an officer, and a code enforcement person. That's it.
Hell yeah! Time to break some laws.
Hell yeah! The thing is, like, in a town like ours, we've only got, you know, like 4,000 people in our town. And that's 4 people for 4,000. And so like,
it's 1,000 per officer.
That's right. So like, imagine like the crimes that get committed, and you're just like, yeah, I don't know, somebody slashed my tire, somebody like keyed my car. It's like, well, sorry. But you know, we do have a big drug bust coming up, or fucking somebody got shot that last week, and we're still working on that case.
Yeah. They're like, I'm sorry that happened, but, yeah, it's no concern of ours. Get a new tire.
Yeah, do you know Jimmy? Jimmy's dead. So we're going to work on Jimmy's case, actually?
God, that sucks ass. But, yeah, what can you do? I mean, try not to put yourself in harm's way, is all I could say. Put your car in your pocket when you sleep.
Yeah, I mean that was the thing is like our the apartment that we were at didn't have any protected. There was no like gate to get in. There was no like protected lot or anything. We just had to park in public parking, and that was that.
My car's only been broken into once here in town. Like out of like the 30-something years I've lived here, we always leave our cars parked next to our house, and we always lock our doors just in case. And the one time I forgot to lock my car is the one time my car got fucking broken into.
Ah, Jesus.
I was so angry. They didn't take anything. I didn't have anything in my car to take. But I left. There was an old like work bag in my car, and I guess they opened up the car, saw the bag, and they were like, "Yeah, hell yeah!"
Mm-hmm.
And they took it. And you could see where they went, because from my car, you could see the trail of stuff that they were looking through the bag. And I guess they gave up because there was nothing but a pair of gloves and like safety glasses in there. and they left it on the lawn, and I think they took the bag. And I was so angry. I was like, who the fuck broke into my car? And like they didn't take anything else but the bag. So God, I've never been so angry. Like that someone in my town came into my yard and broke into my car.
Absolutely destroyed you.
Yeah, I like, ooh, I had a list of suspects in my head, and I wanted to go out into town and just fucking find them and beat their ass.
You're like, I'll fucking find you. Like, I also I like the idea that if you had followed the trail of stuff, like if you had enough stuff in your bag that was like mundane, you could have gone, like followed a trail all the way back to their house.
Look, there's like 3 people it could have been, and because I guess they got pissed off that nothing was in the car and left it in the yard. I didn't go and investigate further. I was like, man, I was just really upset. I was mad, and I was just upset.
Yeah.
Like, but nothing came of it. But
well, dude, that's the other thing is like now we have enough technology to where people can like be amateur investigators, so they can be like, oh yeah, you know, my gym bag I left in my car that had my laptop or whatever, I had an air tag on it, and like I'm looking at like here's where the air tag was last spotted. It's like in this location, so I can tell that it's in this house right now. We could go in this house right now and recover my stuff. And the cops are like, I don't know about that. I don't know about all that.
Listen, those guys could be mad that you found them, and like I'd have to do something. I don't want to.
Yeah, listen, somebody got killed last month, and it was a real headache. So just chill.
Yeah, look, just come on, man. What will it take for me to get you to not do that?
Here, if I get you, if you give me $5 and I buy you a number 1 at Whataburger, do we call it even? How about that?
Yeah, listen, I'll get they got a cop discount. I'll give you the discount. Just you can't have cheese on it. That's pushing it.
Yeah, it's honestly that would be kind of a dick move on your part. I just like it's wild to me that you could have, because like there's been a couple of stories of people being like, oh yeah, I can definitively prove that like this person took my laptop, and then all that person has to say is like, oh no, I bought this from some guy over here.
Oh god, yeah.
And that's it. Like the cops are like, well, I don't know, this seems kind of sticky. I don't know.
I'm like, well, you be like, well, fucking do your due diligence. Get the number they used to call the guy, or where did they meet up? I walked by the park. There was a guy in the park, and he said, hey, do you want a laptop for $6? And I said, that doesn't sound stolen, and I bought it from him. I'm like, well, officer, now that you're here, can you at least get him to give it back? Jeez.
No, I don't think so.
It has my name on it. You can see it.
Yeah, but I mean, someone stole it. We all agree, right? Someone stole it. But it may not be this guy, and I know this is yours, but once it fell into someone else's hands, ownership is 9/10 of the law. That is what they say. So,
it's still mine, though.
listen, I'm gonna need you to stop crying, or I am gonna have to arrest you, and I'm gonna escalate from nothing all the way up to resisting arrest immediately.
Technically, you're on his lawn, so now he can ask you to leave. So,
sir, get off the lawn, or I'm gonna tase you right now.
God, fucking bullshit! I hate the law.
Yeah, anarchy.
Hell yeah! Well, I mean, maybe not that far, but like you know,
You know,
I mean, just mild anarcky.
just like a little more anarchy. How about that?
A little bit. I mean, I don't want there to be a riot. I still gotta work. I don't want them to like riot and shit.
Dude, I was reading. So number one, did you see the protests that were going on in France about like they were talking about like I think it was raising the retirement age?
Really?
Yeah.
I think I heard about it, but I mean I didn't really read it.
Yeah, so they were talking about raising the retirement age to from 62 to 64. Right.
Oh yeah. What didn't the guy come out and say? Yeah, people just want to work more. Like, isn't that what the guy? He's like, I talked to a lot of people, and they said they wish they could work more.
They said, hey, I really want to get back out there. No, you're thinking of an American guy that said that, which is just exactly as embarrassing. But in France, they were like, yeah, we're gonna be talking about doing this, and over 1 million people showed up and just started like protesting and rioting and beating the shit out of cops. Like France really goes ape shit whenever they like start doing anything. Like if they're protesting anything, it's all over. They go from nothing to fire immediately. And
damn,
I was on Reddit and somebody posted this tweet from someone that was like, my French boyfriend was watching like the January 6th trial with me, and he was like, man, things are so bad here. Why is no building on fire? What are you people doing to fix it? I had to tell him like, well, that's not how we do things here in America. France sounds fucking cool.
Yeah. Y'all didn't even destroy a building.
Yeah,
God.
You didn't destroy a monument or nothing. You didn't like take the lives of a few people. Come on.
You didn't even tip over the Eiffel Tower. Jeez.
God.
Or the cow tipping. Well, this is a Statue of Liberty tipping.
God, so I went to Texas Tech, and by the time I went there, we had to have goalposts that would come down. Specifically because one year, like the fans tore down the goalpost, and then everybody rammed it into the visitor section.
Jesus.
There's no one that Texas Tech hates more than whoever we're playing that week in football. So like it was just so from then on, like any time that there was a big play and people were starting to storm the field, they were like, take the field goes down, take the field goes down. So like
take them, please put them away.
What happens is like is the last like 20 seconds of a really hype game turn into like half an hour because it's like people start storming the field. And then the goalposts just come down, and then they wait until all the people are off the field, and then they slowly bring the goalposts back up. Like, you're not going to do it. And then they get one more play in, and then they have to take the goalpost down because everybody's rushing the field again. It's fucking great.
We're gonna put them up, but y'all gotta promise, y'all not gonna come down.
You're not gonna get on these and break them, right? And everybody's like, no.
All right, we're putting them back up.
Oh no, boy, that looks really fun to climb on.
And wouldn't that look good in the visitor section? Oh.
Wouldn't that look good stabbed into the visitor section like a fork? Yeah, it would.
Wouldn't that look so good rammed into someone's car?
Yeah, hell yeah.
God. All right. Today's real topics, other than mild anarchy.
Yeah. Don't worry. Both topics are going to cause real anarchy, so it's good.
We have two topics we want to talk about, but you know what? They're both really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let Colby choose which one we start on with.
We are going to start with the easiest one, which in my opinion is M&M's came out today, and they said, well, number one, congratulations.
Yeah.
M&M's came out. It's just a very good joke. M&M's came
Bad joke. Such a bad joke. That's it.
M&M's came out today and said that they are going to shelve their candy spokespeople in favor of Maya Rudolph for a little while. They're on indefinite hiatus.
Where else am I going to get my chocolacy?
And this is like in response to a couple of things. Basically, M&M's like a while back decided to like give the M&M's characters like personality, which like they had personality in the like commercials, but they started to give them like backstory about like, you know, like sort of their personality traits and like where they're coming from. And
well, it was already stuff that was kind of established. They just kind of fleshed it out more.
Yeah, and they wrote it down and made it sort of official, and they're like, these are characters, damn it, take them seriously. But as part of that, they said, like, hey, the green M&M isn't going to wear, like, go-go boots anymore. It's going to wear, like, regular shoes.
Casual shoes.
And
like the other guy M&M's wearing the normal shoes.
Just a normal M&M, just a regular M&M. And good old my friend and yours, Tucky Carlson, got real angy in his little britches about it.
Yeah, got a little upset. He got a little flustered.
A little upsetty spaghetti, and he just I mean, the reality of the situation, and this is what they don't tell you. This is what the Illuminati doesn't want you to know. The reality of the situation is that Tucker Carlson gave himself death grip, so the only thing that he can come to is candy now. And that was the easiest one that was accessible to him, and now he's facing the next, like, he's rich, so he's going to have a very long life. He's looking forward to a very long, cumless life, and
unfortunately
can't do it.
Can't do it. He's always on Rule 34 on the M&M section.
In fact, you know what? I'm gonna Google hot candy mascots. And,
no, don't do it. Don't.
These are candy. Okay.
Yeah. Put a hot M&M on the screen.
Put a hot M&M.
Yeah, no, like put a risque M&M up on the screen.
I'm not doing that.
By the way, we're live on Twitch in case you're wondering.
Yeah, you can come and
you can
do not do this, Fee.
You can come, all right.
Please, God. I'm looking at these candy mascots. There are no sexy candy mascots for fucking, which is unfortunate, I guess, because we do have the Jolly Green Giant, we do have the Hamburglar, we do have Tony the Tiger. Like, there are fuckable mascots out there, but
which Hamburglar? Like, there's the gross, hideous one, and there's a sexy Latino one.
Come on, Fee. Come on, Fee. Work with me here. I mean, come on, Fee. You know who
I'm just saying. Like, listen. I mean, you can't tell me that either one of those aren't like sexy to somebody.
Like the real life Hamburglar that I'm seeing right now, he's pretty fucking hot, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, the thin Latino muscular one.
The one who's like a real dude.
Yeah, the real dude one.
The real dude one, pretty hot actually.
Yeah, I think that was a thing. Like after when he came out, they were like, "Why'd y'all make the hamburger fuckable?" Like,
why not?
What? He steals hamburgers.
Yeah.
I don't want him to steal my heart.
I don't want him to steal my ass. You know what I mean? My whole ass.
You don't know if he's a top. What if he steals your hamburgers and like becomes a bottom?
Come on, bud. That's the easiest thing I've ever. If you look at this man, if anything, this man's a switch. He's for sure not a bottom.
Okay, yeah, I could. You know what? If he didn't get his hamburgers, but you have them all, and he just offers up the goods, for the hamburgers.
Mm-hmm. So, purely transactional.
Yeah, purely. It's consensual and transactional, and yeah.
So the thing that we need to answer now is, why do you think they've done this? Why do you think they've done this, Fee?
We're okay. So there's a few reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They switched the shoes on the green M&M, which is I don't see the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They introduced a purple M&M that said that it was body weight inclusive.
Sure.
And she looks just like the yellow M&M, but I don't see the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They also introduced the backstory to the orange M&M, where he's always had anxiety.
Yep.
And that's it. I don't know why they would. First of all, and let me just say this: why Maya Rudolph of all people?
Here's why. Because Maya Rudolph is basically, I'm gonna say, this current generation's America's sweetheart. It used to be Caroline Rhea, and it's very ironic that it was Caroline Rhea because she's from Canada. But Maya Rudolph basically is in so much. She's funny. She's inoffensive. She is the same, like, she has the same easily readable race as Vin Diesel, which is to say, not at all.
Well, like, isn't one of her, like, isn't her dad? No, her mom's black and her dad's
Who knows, Fee? It could be anything.
In like her dad Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That's why she's Maya Rudolph.
Jesus. And you said that I had a bad joke. You said that, Fee.
Yeah, but we all know that I have bad jokes, and I thought my jokes were bad. That's such for all our Joker lovers out there.
No. Number one, I'm looking at the old and the new design of the M&Ms, and it's just, the new design is just much better.
You mean less sexier?
The thing, it's less creepy is the thing.
The thing about the boots, I never, I don't want to say I never noticed, but it's just a commercial candy mascot. Like, I didn't put much thought into it.
Yeah, as well you
know
should
what I mean?
not have. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull this up, and so if you're watching this live, you could look at this. This is the old and new design right here. You're seeing this live on the Go Gets podcast.
It's breaking 2 electric live boogaloo.
That's right. And if you look, so if I'll zoom out a little bit.
Oh,
you can
no,
see,
they put her hands on her hips.
Yeah. The green M&M very clearly. So like the old design, the brown M&M was like hot librarian.
She still is.
And yeah, right. But the green M&M, hooker. Like you can't say that's a hooker candy. And then the new green M&M.
She picked herself up out of the gutter.
That's right. She went back to college or whatever. Like this is what Tucker Carlson is so fucking mad about. Is that, and okay, objectively, this design is better. And do you know why?
I can't tell the difference, honestly.
Look at the leg color between the old and the new.
So they got flesh-colored legs.
They have flesh-colored legs and arms in the old one. What the hell?
Yeah, and now they have just white cartoon tubes.
And look.
Yeah,
I do want to say,
human.
let's if we're gonna complain about like M&Ms being less fuckable, we got to talk about my man Blue. Because look at this. Blue old design, no pants. Blue new design, pants. Who's hiding Blue's junk?
But look at Blue's lips. He's got those sexy DLCs. Or DSLs.
Another right there for it. He's such a fucking dork that you're like, yeah, DLC, that's the acronym I know.
Get those fucking acronyms mixed up. Just fuck you.
You're not wrong. And I'm just saying that like the old design, I look at it and it reminds me of the old Sonic design where it's like, oh yeah, God. Sonic has flesh limbs. And then in the new one, it's like Sonic has blue arms and legs because that's what makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the flesh arms kind of look cool on Sonic. I mean, just saying. Not for like sex reasons. I just aesthetic,
bet
aesthetic
not for
reasons.
sex reason, you fucking weirdo. I'm just saying that like the old M&M's design is less good than the new one, and now we're in this day and age in which I get to really emotionally connect with the orange M&M being anxious, and I'm like, yeah, me too, bud.
Yeah, except your race of people aren't being eaten alive like his are.
That is true. I mean, to be fair, what did we gain? Maybe by having some backstory, a little bit of redesign, people like me can connect with the orange M&M a lot better. But people that are out here like proudly hoeing don't get to connect with the green M&M anymore, and that's like a loss, really.
I never thought she was like a hooker. I thought she was like a go-go dancer.
That's what I think. I think that's what reasonable non-candy perverts think. But clearly, my boy Tucky is like, I can't get off without the candy.
Why can't it be both? Like, why can't she be like a go-go dancer for a job and don't like the shoes are just like she's off duty?
Or maybe she just likes wearing boots and that's it. Maybe she just likes boots because they're good.
I mean, like anything, put boots on anything. They'll make it 10 times sexier.
All right.
Look, this is Tucker Carlson's reasoning. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. See, you would never say that about anything.
No, because boots don't get me off. Like weird legs, just
weird legs do. Boots, no.
No, giant crocodile butts get me off.
That is true. You know what? You would say if they did. That is fair.
Yeah. Look. I'm just saying. Like I'm a degenerate. That like fucking big monsters are like my thing.
Yeah. You know that I want to fuck Chester Cheetah, right? You know that.
No, God, no. He's too cool for me.
Precisely.
Exactly. So like, but they're just circles. Like, there's nothing attractive about that. Like, is it the color? Is it the come fuck me eyes? Like, what is it?
I literally just think they were like, oh, this is a female M&M who's kind of sassy and is wearing boots. And so I think that they like are trying to connect this to like, that's clearly the Dommy Mommy M&M. That's the one.
The brown M&M's the Dommy Mommy.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I don't know what the argument is.
Like the brown M&M still, I'm doing air quotes, quote unquote, sexy still.
Yeah.
Like
in that the brown M&M is a woman. That's the only requirement.
No, she's wearing heels.
Oh, is that true? She's wearing like boots. She's wearing like Doc Martens.
No, the brown M&M's wearing heels.
Oh, the brown one. I thought you meant the purple one. Yeah, the purple one is wearing Docs. The brown one is still wearing heels.
Like, yeah, so she's the sexy icon. Like, what's the problem?
I don't know.
Does Tucker Carlson just like green?
Maybe that's it. Maybe this is like a deep repressed thing. Maybe he's like, yeah, these fucking environmentalists. Oh, they're so hot and sexy.
What? Maybe now. Oh yeah, she does look like an environmentalist.
Because she's green, Fee.
Yeah, because she's green. Maybe he's upset because like he got a custom M&M fleshlight, and now like it has the boots and everything, and now that they changed her design, he's like, well, this is not how she looks.
Yeah, and
I can't imagine.
This seller's not on Etsy anymore.
God, it's so weird. Like, I don't know what the big deal is. Like, how many people are still watching TV to see these commercials? Mm-hmm. And even if you are, like, how often do they come up? On the bags, they're barely on them. We bought a big bag of M&Ms the other day. I don't even remember seeing the mascots on there.
Yeah, I
still ate them. I didn't get horny.
Yeah, and like the M&Ms, the most that they've come into my life is like at Christmas time, whenever they play the commercial that they made 25 years ago every hour.
Yeah, with the red and yellow fucking Finding Santa.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't even show the green M&M that much on TV. What's the big fucking hoopla?
I don't know, man. I don't even know.
And like, if the sexy green M&M is what turns you on, can we not forget that they made Dr. Phil a green M&M?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, you don't remember that commercial where they had the celebrities as M&Ms?
Oh, right.
And the nightmare fuel that was Dr. Phil M&M?
Yes,
Look it
now
up.
I remember.
Look it up. Not the commercial, just the picture.
Dr. Phil M&M. Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, you can't show this to kids.
It's just, that one time that they did that has stuck with me more than the fucking feet of an M&M.
Yeah, you can't show people this. That's not.
This should be lost media. It's the one time I argue that this should be lost media.
Yeah, here you go. Here's good old Dr. Phil M&M for everyone on stream.
Oh god, it's fucking, that's my sleep paralysis demon. He's doing that pose at the end of my bed. God,
Listen, one man's sleep paralysis demon is another Tucker Carlson's wet dream. It's fine.
Why is he so fucking mad about the M&Ms?
I don't know. It's because like the whole the 24-hour news cycle thing just means that if people are watching your channel, they're probably watching it in order to get mad, because whether people like it or not, or realize it or not, people enjoy being angry, like righteously angry over something.
Well, I enjoy being angry at stuff, but like I don't go out and publicly say that my fetish is being destroyed.
Yeah, I don't tune into a channel and in which a guy is like, "Hey, just so you know, my dick can't get hard no more to the candy lady, so you should be real pissed about that." And I especially don't go, "Yeah, I should actually."
You know what? Now that I think about it, she is fucking hot, but now she ain't. Just
okay. In parallel to this topic, just to show you, to demonstrate that like this is yet another really stupid thing for people to get angry about. Do you know why right-wing people are mad about Xbox right now?
Right-wing people are mad at Xbox?
Yeah, this happened like today, yesterday, something like that, this week.
Oh shit. That tells you how much I pay attention to the news.
Yeah, so after the gas stove thing, which is a whole thing in and of itself, now their thing that they're talking about is how Xbox has gone woke, because Xbox is going to be releasing a power management thing.
A what now?
So a power management thing for Xbox consoles. So what they're doing is they're saying like, hey, if you want to, you could turn on like what we're going to do is we're going to turn on like carbon emission aware like stuff for the Xbox. So what the Xbox will do is if it needs to update a game or connect to the internet to like update an app or do an OS update or whatever, what it will do is check the like regional like carbon data that's like available, and like how much like electricity pricing is and how much estimated carbon footprint it'll have, and then it will schedule your update for a time at which it will be minimized, which is probably later on in the night, which is not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
No, it's not.
Like, and updates just to the console?
Yeah, or games or the app or whatever.
Yeah, but you could still play the games in the console without the update.
Yeah, and in fact, if you need to download the update, you could still just tell it to, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, what's the big... Why are people mad at this? It's just an option.
It's
optional, right?
I don't know. So it seems like it is optional.
Even if it wasn't.
It's not going to make any difference.
Yeah, what's the big fucking deal? Wouldn't you want it to upload while you're sleeping so it doesn't interrupt your game time?
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal? Why is that woke?
It's because specifically they're like, this is to reduce carbon emissions.
Yeah, but carbon emissions are bad.
Yeah, they are. Unless you want to go out in a blaze of glory on planet Earth, and someone has convinced you that that's a noble thing to do.
You know what? I tell everybody and like my coworkers, I don't care that the sun explodes into a star. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to die.
All good.
I'm good, baby. I'm ready to burn up in the fires of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing we could do at that point. Say, you know. That's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, because I feel like we're already done with sexy Eminem.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Just say a prayer. Say a small, very, very like an appropriately small prayer for Tucker Carlson's Wang and coming.
Yeah, and also add in a little rest and pasta for Green M&M's boots, I guess. Mm-hmm. Question mark. If I guess if that's a big deal to you, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking. I was gonna say. Here's some coworker knowledge.
Yeah. Drop me this coworker lore. I need it.
So, we're talking the other day, right? I don't know how we got on this topic, but somehow we got onto the topic of. Remember when we were discussing about Japanese people don't really know what like the sound of a gunshot is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I was telling them, this is a bad movie coworker.
Oh, yes, and, this coworker.
I was telling him, I was like, yeah, they don't even know what the sound of a gunshot is, right? And, and then he was like, oh, yeah, and he kind of knew about it, so I was like, okay, cool. But then as we're going on and on, he's like, yeah, but if, someone did have a gun, how it is over there, it's like an eye for an eye, they'll cut his hands off. I was like, What? Yeah, I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's what I heard they do the whole, like, eye for an eye thing. I was like, what? I was like, do you think they live in the Middle Ages over there?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I was like, what? He was like, oh, no, I heard that's what they do. I'm like, they have jails.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I was like, what the hell are you talking? He's like, I heard that's what they do over there. And I'm like,
from who?
Yeah, no shit. I was like, maybe in the Middle East back in Aladdin days, but like, what the fuck are you talking? It's Japan.
He heard that from his sleep paralysis demon, which coincidentally is the same as yours, and it is green Dr. Phil Eminem.
No, but Dr. Phil doesn't fucking fill my head with bullshit.
Oh, he does it. It seems like he does it to fucking this guy all the time.
And then like he was just like he was going on, and I was like, I was getting mad. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he was just like, yeah, well, that's why they keep the prime minister, he stays in his palace the whole time. And I was like, his palace? I'm like, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, he has an office and he lives in a house. I was like, what do you mean palace? I'm like, it's Japan, he's not North Korea.
Yeah,
And then, because my boss was with him, he's like, well, I mean, if it's a big, like, mansion, you can consider it a palace. I was like,
oh,
no.
Okay, there you go.
I was like, no, you can't. I was like, he was like, well, I mean, technically, the White House is a palace. I'm like,
shut the fuck up. God, I hate this guy.
I was like, no, it's not. I'm like, it's not a palace. He's like, oh, well, what about, like, those big, like, churches and stuff? Aren't those, like, palaces for, like, religious people? I go, no, they're churches!
God, this is exactly what happened. He was like, oh, yeah, well, that's why the prime minister stays at his palace. And you were like, palace? And he went, oh, shit. Well, now I gotta go in on it. Yup, any big building is a palace when you really think about it.
Oh, my God, I fucking hate them. I was so fucking floored. Like, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like flabbergasted. I was like legit. I was like, what? I was like, how do you function?
Yeah,
What,
I'm currently looking at the like official. This is a good day for following the stream because I get to show you things. We have relevant things to talk about that are pictures. Let me show you the palace that the Prime Minister of Japan lives in.
Quote,
boy,
unquote.
it is big. This is a massive. Jeez, look at that. Dang, that's like maybe 3 stories. Maybe it's probably just 2.
That's 2 stories and an attic.
2 stories and a small attic space, baby.
God, look at that palace. Look at how extravagant it is.
And in fact, here's the best part. The current Prime Minister of Japan refuses to live here. He's just living in his apartment.
Oh my God. I fucking knew it because I told him, I go, he has an office building like the White House. And I was like, I don't even think he lives there. I think he lives in his own house. And they were just like, well, then why do they have the palace?
The palace. Yeah, this palace, this brick palace.
This beautiful brick palace.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, I've been waiting for today because I've been wanting to tell you this stupid story.
God, I'm reading right here. Okay, so the prime minister from 2011 to 2012 questioned this guy's decision to stay in his cramped apartment, citing a recent magnitude 7.3 earthquake which struck northeastern Japan. It took the new prime minister 20 minutes to reach the prime minister's office to chair an emergency meeting, where it would have happened in mere minutes if he had been living in the official residence. Like, come on.
God, like, oh man, like I said, I'm like, and we've talked about this before. Like, I think he thinks all like Asian people are the same, because like South Korea, they have like a palace, right? They do.
I don't fucking know.
They
for the prime minister. I don't.
No,
I think anybody that is a prime minister doesn't get a palace.
No, they get a big building. They because I know like the prime minister of like South Korea, they live in like the military, not live in, but they have the big military building, right?
I'm seeing there is a big palace there. There's also a bunch of palaces in Japan that aren't the prime ministers.
I was talking about South Korea, but
yeah, no, I'm looking at South Korea as well. Like, both of them have palaces. I don't know that South Korea, oh God.
They don't live there. They don't have like a throne room.
Yeah, there's not like, oh yes, we all, everybody gets to worship me and my cool, I'm the prime minister. Like, that's such a modern title to live in a castle. Like, is this man convinced that Mario's like a documentary and like all these kingdoms actually exist?
Maybe he thinks Aladdin was a documentary.
Ooh, yeah.
Because they live in a palace. They have the Sultan. Didn't you watch the news when Donald Trump went to go visit the Sultan of the Middle East?
Oh yeah, true.
He wanted to take the hand of his daughter, but the tiger got in the way.
Here is the house that the Prime Minister of South Korea lives in. It's called the Blue House. It's 3 times the size of the White House. And still wouldn't call it a palace. Big house. Got 2 houses on the side. It looks like a pretty big estate. It doesn't scream palace to me though. Like,
you know what? That's a good word. Estate. It's an estate.
If you compare it to Buckingham Palace, sure. Buckingham Palace is this feels like a palace, I think.
You know,
let me open this up let me make sure that everyone can see this.
Since all big buildings are palaces, according to my boss. You know what my favorite palace is? Madison Square Palace.
Yep, that's that's my favorite one. Yep. It's actually, yeah, in Austin, they've got this building that looks like an owl, and it's owned by Frost Bank. The Frost Bank Palace is like my favorite building in the downtown.
Yeah, the 2 Frost Bank palaces there in Corpus too. favorite palaces.
Favorite.
The
Immediate.
Selena Auditorium, Selena Palace.
Selena Palace. I'm looking. This is Buckingham Palace.
Nice.
This pretty good palace. This is the
palace.
Blue House. Okay. It's.
I like the color. I like the color.
Yeah, the Blue Palace looks way cooler than Buckingham Palace. I still do not think that the Blue House is a palace, and I especially compared to the fucking 1972 office building that all prime ministers in Japan are forced to live in. Jeez.
God, these are the people I work with. These are,
yeah, they have jobs.
One of them is my supervisor.
Oh.
And like, oh man, like I'm not like in the know for like fucking political or like even new. I'm not worldly, but I know that our fucking the people over there don't live in a fucking palace.
In a big, they live. Anybody who's the ruler of a country lives in a castle, and that's just how it is. In fact, all the governors for all the states, they live. So it goes like palace is like the leader of the country, right? So the president lives in the White Palace, and then all the governors live in like the governor's castle. So they're like every governor gets a castle, and then every mayor gets the mayor's mansion. It's a big mansion for all the mayors of every town. By the way, don't let anybody tell you.
No matter how big or small the town is, every town.
Yeah, in fact, if you drive through our hometown, there is a big castle on the outskirts. That's where the mayor lives.
That harkens back to our last episode where they wanted to put a castle in our town.
Oh God, the fort,
I forgot it was already there because the mayor lives there.
It's true. I forgot. They just said let's just cover up the word castle and put fort on it, and that's it.
God, if Texas had a palace for the governor, I'd want to be the governor of Texas because I assume that the palace would be shaped like Texas.
That would be pretty sick, honestly.
That'd be pretty sick, right? See,
I will say that the governor's mansion in Texas, the governor of Texas does have a mansion.
Yeah, I assumed,
and it's fine, pretty big house.
Okay.
Palace. pretty big house palace this is.
It's this Palisade.
I used to drive by it every day on my way home from work, and I gotta say it is really intimidating whenever you drive by a place that's like effectively in like the downtown of a city, and there's just a cop with like an automatic rifle out front, just like standing there on the street, like, hey, don't come too close. I'm like, oh, okay.
Hey, take a few step back, hey, bud.
Look at this. Look at this. Great.
That's a nice looking palace.
Mm-hmm. Look at those columns holding up all that palace.
Yeah, like say what you want. I love columns on a house.
Yeah, columns on a house are cool.
But column on a palace.
It's required.
You know what do you think of when you think of the word palace? Because the first thing that comes to my mind is going back Aladdin, like with the big orbs on the top with the big thing.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking of like. Oh man. So the first one that comes to mind is Buckingham Palace because I know relatively what that looks like.
Yeah.
And then second is fictional like Aladdin Palace or like Caesar's Palace at the Strip in Vegas, which is not fictional, but it is different.
I mean, in fictional lore, real place.
Yep, sure is. I think I'm told.
Well, like Caesar's Palace, like. I feel like it's real, but like the way it is in Vegas is in no way probably how it looked or at all.
Yeah, I would. Oh man, Caesar's Palace. By the way, you know what was the worst part about Fallout New Vegas is that like half the people pronounced it Caesar and the other half pronounced it Kaiser.
Oh God,
Fucking
why?
idiots. I don't know, man.
Kaiser?
Yeah,
Kaiser's a title.
sure is.
Fucking Kaiser's Palace. Fucking.
I'm looking at Caesar's Palace. It is big. It does look pretty palacey, actually.
Well, hold on. Now I gotta see. Show me. I want to see this palace, and I'll give it a palace rating.
Yeah, give me the palace rating on this. So, let me open this link and pull it into my. I now have a tab of palaces.
You're gonna get a bunch of ads like on all your things for palaces.
It's true. Here we go. Here we go. This is what Caesar's Palace looks like currently in Vegas. This is like one of the angles of Caesar's Palace. Pretty favorable one, I would say. Pretty good.
What? I'll rate that a 10 out of 10 on the palace scale.
Yeah, pretty palacey actually.
You got the fountains, you got the lights coming up on the trees. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm digging this palace. It's you know what? Good palace.
Yeah, good palace, Caesar's Palace. You've done a great job.
Oh, and it has columns.
Yeah, it does have columns, which is like crazy. And then South Korea again, Buckingham Palace, great. Just like, and then the Japanese Palace, which is
that's where they cut off your hands if you steal an apple.
That's right. They take you right to the palace. They even, you know what? Just in case you commit a crime at night, they have like little holes in the side of the building where you just, if you commit a crime, you just put your hands in, they'll just cut them off automatically. No need to muss or fuss.
Yeah, they they don't even have a jail. They throw you in the dungeon.
Throw you in the palace dungeon. There's not a lot of room in there. It is like 600 square feet in that little basement, but it's the best they could do with such a palace as this.
Well, Japan's still in the feudal ages, so they don't care about the spaces. So.
Exactly. Listen, it's fine. Everybody's fine. We don't. Why would you need a jail?
Yeah, Japan, they have a palace. Everyone still has paper doors.
Yeah.
They run around with the fucking, what are they called? The toboggan taxis where they have to hold it. You know what I'm talking about?
Rickshaw, yeah, they're all doing rickshaws. They're all carrying swords still. That's just what it is.
All the Japanese racial stereotypes and feudal era things you could think of. That's what's going on over there right now.
Yeah, and you know what? Anytime you go and visit, they've got these like modern trains and like it's all a facade. Like you really have to. There's like only 5 or 6 stairwells in all of the entire country that will take you to like the basement floor. Like once you go down to like Japan 3 floors down, that's where real Japan is, and that's where everybody's like constantly sword fighting and fucking eating only ramen. It's crazy.
That's where I went sword fighting. That's where all the demons are. That's where all the everyone's still unleashing their ki.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
Anything you see in Japan, like right now, all the funny commercials and the modern technologies and stuff, that's just the tourist attraction, baby.
Yeah, they're just trying to get you into the country, and you know what? It's working because you're all rubes.
You got to just listen to my boss and, visit the palace. They'll teach you a thing or two.
Yeah, and you know what? God, you better not have stolen anything in your entire life, or they'll take those hands.
Yeah, don't you dare side-eye the prime minister, else he'll poke your eye out.
Mm-hmm.
God, the idiot, I'm so angry. Let's move on. That's all I want. That was my Fee's coworker of the day story.
I'm so happy to have these. The last topic that we've got for today, which is going to be a relatively meaty one, is oh boy,
we all know him.
We all know him.
We all used to like his stuff, loved his shows, we loved his voices. Good old Justin Roiland.
JR, as we all call him in the JR fandom.
In the JR community.
Yeah, so this came out not too long ago. Basically, back in 2020, Justin Roiland was arrested for like felony assault charges and like
2019.
2019. Yes, thank you. And also like false imprisonment of somebody, which just means to me, this means that like his wife was like, his girlfriend or whoever was like, I need to leave, and he went, the fuck you are. And that
locks the door.
Locked the door and was like, oh, if you open that door, I have a fucking pit of alligators outside that's just gonna eat you. And the thing is, I say that and it's a funny joke, but for Justin Roiland, it was true.
Yeah, it was true. Locks the door and says, leaving? You mean staying?
Mm-hmm.
And fucking just keeps her in the house. Like, no one knows the intricacies of what happened. We just know it happened.
Yeah,
and
so it's supposed to be going to court soon. And basically like the records haven't like surfaced up until recently, for one reason or another that I would need to confirm. But yeah, basically this came out, and it's it started with like, hey, this is happening and this is really shitty. This happened around the same time that Andrew Callahan of All Gas No Brakes and Channel 5 got some sexual allegations of some creepy contact with women. He basically came out and was like, yeah, a lot of this is from whenever I was like 19, and I was like told, like, men, whenever you're growing up, are told like, oh yeah, whenever a girl is like playing hard to get, like that's what she's doing. She's playing hard to get so that you like chase after her. And so like you should, pressure, you apply that pressure, and then eventually they say yes and they bang you. And that's like,
yeah, you just have to gaslight them into sleeping with you.
Yeah, you just have to ask them 19 times and then eventually they'll say yes. Which is like, I'm going to be honest with you, not a bad take, because that's absolutely one of the things that you learn, like, whenever you get into, like, late high school, early college, is, like, that's, like, a thing that people do, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's totally fine. Like, she was into it.
I know that's, yeah, it's so funny. I know that's, like, what people do and stuff. I mean, I wasn't taught that, and I didn't go to college, so I guess I skipped that fucking lesson, so...
Yeah, I mean, this is like, so I didn't hang out with a lot of cool people, but like a couple of the people that were like in my, not like at college fee. I wasn't hanging out with you at college. It's fine.
Kinda.
Not at college. You never came to my college.
I mean, you came home during the summer while you were at college.
That's different.
And we hung out.
I said at college, specifically in College Town.
How do you know I wasn't there?
I'm pretty sure, actually.
But how do you know I wasn't stalking you?
Oh. Now I need to reevaluate everything.
I didn't even have a car.
Yeah. I think basically, there's like there were a couple of guys that I talked to that were like, oh yeah, whenever you go out to a bar, like that's the sort of game of cat and mouse that you got to play, is you like buy them a drink and you like talk with them and you can like dance, and then, fucking at the end of the night, like they're probably going to say no, but like what they mean is, you're going to try a little harder. You get to put your back into it. I'm not just going to like leave with a random guy from a bar unless he puts some effort in.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I have heard that. Yeah, I've been to a bar a couple of times when I was younger, and I've done that. I bought some people drinks, some girls drinks, and we had a good time. We danced, but like I guess maybe just because I'm a bitch, I would never be like, want to go home with me. Like the inflection was, if she wasn't giving off the vibe, I kind of just left it alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So maybe because I'm a bitch, but who knows?
That's the correct thing to do. That's like a polite human thing to do, is like when someone's not into you, you can fucking leave them alone. But so like that was the thing that came out about Andrew Callahan, which is a lot less bad than what came out about Justin Roiland. It came out the same week, basically. And Justin Roiland, yeah. So apparently in May of 2020, actually. There was a criminal complaint filed in May of 2020. He pleaded not guilty. But the reason why this is sort of like coming to light now is because he appeared in court on Thursday of, I guess last week for a pretrial hearing.
Didn't Squanch Games pay for like his things when it did came out like the first time?
I think they originally, God, it's hard to get the timeline right with this, because like things evolve so quickly that like, so Squanch Games in particular, this is another great piece of lore. Also faced, the game studio itself faced a sexual harassment, discrimination, and wrongful termination suit in 2018. And apparently this had to do with a former technical director, but the lawsuit was settled in 2019. So that's like basically the studio that was started by Justin Roiland to make video games. Already had like a sexual harassment, discrimination, wrongful termination lawsuit under its belt. And then after that was whenever this fucking wild shit happened, this like felony
sexual thing.
Yes, thank you. Felony domestic assault. That's whenever that happened. And so there's not a lot that's known. The charges were 1 felony count of domestic battery with corporal injury and 1 felony count of false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, and or deceit. So that like paints a pretty not great picture. It's
a damning picture for Justin Roiland.
It certainly is. Not great. As soon as this came out, a bunch of people were very clearly being like, well, this is a really shitty thing. You can't support him. You can't support like anything that he's doing. And then the thing is, like, if it was just that, I guess like the Twitter sphere would have probably still been like, oh yeah, this guy is like is a shitter and no one should like talk to him. But
here's the thing.
It wasn't just that. So after this happened, then a bunch of people were like, oh, hey, here's a bunch of like DMs that Justin Roiland sent me. Here's a bunch of like weird text messages that he sent my fucking my like underage friend or whatever. And a lot of it is like, just rough.
It turns out that he's not a good guy. It turns out that Justin Roiland is very creepy, and he likes to prey on his fans.
Yeah, I mean, which like that's a thing that just I feel like once you get up to a certain level of notoriety, it feels like that's a lesson that everybody has to learn, is that like, hey, it's not okay to fuck your fans. That's like a hard lesson for some people to learn, but like
it's a hard pill to swallow for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and it's hard. But like Justin Roiland married is the thing.
Yeah.
Even if he wasn't at the time, like it's a hard pill to swallow, because like if you're single and you get like really famous, dating can be hard, and it's hard to tell who wants to date you for the right reasons and who just wants to fuck you.
Yep.
But it also falls onto the celebrity. Like, why does he want to fuck you? Because he has the power to and the capability to, and you think it's cool, or is there other reasons?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, that's like, all of that kind of doesn't factor into it. And the reason why is like, there's a power imbalance. Like, it's the same reason why, like, anytime that a like boss fucks one of their employees, or like one of even like somebody else that they work with, if they're further up the ladder and they're fucking another employee, it starts to get messy, because it can be really easy for that to go south. And then the boss talk to somebody else, like somebody on their level, and they're like, oh, you know, I know that they were working on this project. It's a pretty shitty job that they're doing, and basically put in a bad word. And so that's like, do you feel comfortable in like saying no anymore? And the answer can be no. And whenever somebody is like super famous, like, you know, if you're an adult and you're like getting into an adult relationship, it's like, you know, whatever you do is sort of like up to you, but there is undeniably a power imbalance there, where it's like, it becomes more difficult to say no and to I guess like deny consent or deny requests of somebody who you like admire and look up to and have like built up in your head as this like great cool person that you don't actually know that well. Yeah, it's pretty not great.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, when this all came down, everyone's like, oh, Justin Roiland's big right now. He's doing like all the shows and all this stuff, and he'll be fine. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
He wasn't fine. So yeah, if it was just the court case, maybe Adult Swim would have looked the other way. If it was like, oh, this is like, because you can imagine, like, if I'm Justin Roiland's lawyer, right, and I'm like, my client fucking got really mad in an argument and threw a bronze Morty statue at his girlfriend and like fucking like broke her collarbone with it, and when she was threatening to call the cops, he was so worried about his future that he was like, no, don't call the cops, and he threw her phone away, and as she was like going to get outside to go and call the neighbors, he blocked the door and was like, no, don't do it, it'll be fine, I'll treat your broken collarbone, I'm sorry. And I know that sounds bad, but it's not that bad. I'm not saying this would happen.
No. Not
but
saying it did either.
If it was just that, and if like the court records stay sealed, and this was just Justin being like, I'm pleading not guilty, like this didn't happen, this is like a manipulative person who's like trying to get one over on me, whatever.
Yeah.
If it was just that, Adult Swim could have maybe stuck by him. But
yeah, and been like, we'll wait till we see what what happens in court.
But that, plus the text messages and the DMs, builds a very solid opinion on someone, a very solid public opinion on someone that kind of fucking sucks, actually. So
yeah. So, and people were like, well, I think he's probably gonna stay doing his like voice roles for stuff, but just in the couple of days ago, maybe a day or two ago, fucking Adult Swim came out and was like, yeah, Justin Roiland is no longer with us, and we're not going to stand with him.
Yep.
And then
Adult Swim just came out and just said, nah, I'm good, actually.
Which is I'm not going to say it's going to be hard, but it's a death knell for Rick and Morty, because not only is Justin Roiland one of the head writers for that show, he voices Rick and Morty.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff is like improv. So
yeah,
like the thing is, the reason why Justin Roiland has a very I would say directed, easy. So the reason why some comedians like we'll say, oh god, like Dane Cook, like fucking Rodney Dangerfield, like Sam Kinison, one of the reasons why those people get so famous is because they have cadences where you can like, if you can think of another topic, you can hear them talking about it in your brain, because they have a unique way of talking, they have a unique way of like doing intonations and things. And Justin's is like stream of consciousness, like being kind of meta, acknowledging bad stuff, but also like sort of brushing past it. And this is like sort of like his writing style, right? Rick and Morty feels like Justin Roiland talking for 30 minutes.
And I want to say, and this is a hot take, I'm already tired of it.
Yes. I'm right there with you. I watched Rick and Morty seasons 1, 2, and maybe 3 before I was like, yeah, I get it. And from then on, I watched clips of Rick and Morty lore. So like, I thought the lore of the show was pretty cool. Like the whole, like, this is C-138 and like, this is the Citadel of Ricks and all of that stuff I really liked. I thought that stuff was really cool, but like a day-to-day Monster of the Week episode was just kind of like, yeah, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I don't really need this anymore.
It was so good when it first came out because it was so I guess nuanced.
Yeah.
Where you haven't seen, I don't want to say you haven't seen anything like it, but it kind of flipped the script.
Mm-hmm.
And it did a lot of improv, and it had two characters that you thought you kind of knew their archetypes, but it wasn't like their archetypes at all.
Yeah.
But as you see it like forming more and more, it just kept getting more tired, and it kept being the same, and you're just like, oh well, I kind of know that I could probably watch the first episode and only just need to watch the last episode because everything in between is just going to be bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And you just want the lore drop at the end, at the beginning.
Yeah. So like Rick and Morty got to the point where I didn't need to hear any more of it. Like, you're right. This was a way of storytelling that like hadn't been seen before with this level of like budget and with this level of, I would say like attention to detail as far as story goes. And it wasn't on TV, right? Combine all three of those things because when you boil it down, Rick and Morty sounds like a YouTube show. It just does. It just sounds like a show that a guy made on YouTube.
Yeah.
And after a few seasons of that, it's like, meh. And so I don't care so much that Rick and Morty is going to continue. In fact, I would imagine that so this is the full statement by Adult Swim. They said, Adult Swim has ended its association with Justin Roiland. Rick and Morty will continue. The talented and dedicated crew are hard at work on season 7. That's all they said.
Okay.
And so like, here's what I bet. I'm going to call now that episode 1 is going to do gangbusters on ratings.
Uh-huh.
Because everybody's going to be like, who's going to be the voice in Rick and Morty? What's the plot going to be? What's shit going to look like? And in the first episode, they're going to do like a meta joke about how their voices are different.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right.
And
you're fucking so right.
And then they're gonna not do anything else about it for the rest of the season, and no one else is gonna watch because diehard fans that love Justin Roiland are gonna be like, well, fucking Justin Roiland's not here. It's all ruined and bad. And then fans like us that are like, actually, it's been bad for a long time. Yeah. So like, I don't care anymore.
And the writing is gonna be totally different.
Yeah,
and like,
I think so too.
Here's the thing. Justin Roiland writes on a lot of stuff, and you can tell when he does. Every single thing that Justin Roiland writes is just Rick and Morty without Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Like, so he has Rick and Morty, then he did the show Solar Opposites. It's just fucking Rick and Morty without Rick and Morty. The main character even sounds like Rick.
That's because it's Justin Roiland.
Yeah, he's just doing the Rick voice. That's all he's doing.
He's only got the two voices. That's all he needs.
And then like I played High on Life, it was just Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
That's all it was. The gun was Morty.
The gun was Morty. Had a Morty gun.
And the humor is all the same. It's just improv bullshit with like weird speech patterns for people and like things you didn't think they'd say.
Yep.
It's just, I'm tired of it. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Do something else.
That's
God, not everything has to be like, oh, fucking asses and shit. And you remember fucking Game Boy Advance? God.
Yeah.
You ever play fucking Final Fantasy 7? God, this is just like that one scene.
Yeah.
Fucking, no.
I mean, that's what fucking Family Guy turned into as well. But it was more tolerable for Family Guy to do that because the joke structure was the same, but it was being written by different people. And so at the very least, you had new topics. This is like spoken by the same voice, written by the same guy, hasn't had any new and relatable experiences since Rick and Morty took off. He has given me all of the information that I can take from him about having a relatable life because that's all gone from him now.
Yeah. Fucking, I'm so tired of like, oh man, we gotta go to planet Fart Snap, and we gotta save the shitto aliens.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they're.
Oh, geez, Rick, it sure smells on this planet. Yeah, what do you think, Morty? Of course it does. This is a planet covered in shit.
Yeah, of course it does, Morty. The moon's made out of just asses. Fucking.
This is the ass moon. Everyone knows that, dummy.
Every morning when the moon goes down, it fucking fart wave falls over us, and every day when the piss sun comes up, it rains piss. Fucking that could be an episode. That's just a lot. That's how Rick and Morty works. It's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Like what's something stupid? Okay, make it an alien or make it something.
Yeah,
that's what it is. I don't get a shit if you're just like, oh, but what about evil Morty? Like, what he's taking over the Rick Citadel? Fuck the Rick Citadel. Like, fucking for real, fuck it.
For real, fuck it. Fuck the whole thing.
Like, it used to be, like, fun to see what was happening, but, like, I don't care anymore. Nothing even matters in the show. They like to pretend it does, but it doesn't.
Yep, and I got, like I said, for me, I got to the point where, you know, like, I watched a couple of clips, like, oh man, I saw Evil Morty's plan unfold, and I saw like what the finite curve is, and fucking what a yellow portal is, and fucking like I saw all of that and was like, oh yeah, this is good. This is good stuff. And then I watched an episode in which like Rick has two crows that are like that are his new Morty. Yeah. And I watched that and was like, oh yeah, this is what Rick and Morty is. Yep.
Like, oh my God. I mean, I guess that could be funny, but like, I don't know. Like, what do I know? Like, I got so tired. Like, it got tired faster than Family Guy did, and Family Guy's still airing.
Yeah, it's still out there. Family Guy do be out here just making jokes about libs. It's crazy.
I know.
But like, even that, like, you could take the same sort of structure and just like keep going with it forever. And so it's gonna be interesting to me. Like, personally, I'm predicting that you know, we're not going to see anything else from Rick and Morty after season 7, maybe season 8.
Yeah. I think Rick and Morty is dead. I think 7 is the semi-final season. 8 for sure is final.
Yeah.
If they get that far. Solar Opposite. Hulu already came out and said they're no longer with Justin Roiland.
Yeah.
Solar Opposite's dead. They're done with it.
Yeah, and speaking of, we talked about Squanch Games, the studio that Justin Roiland created. They just came out and also said, "Yep, Justin Roiland's gone. He's resigned. Bye-bye."
Like, I mean, they could still do games. That's fine, but he's no longer going to be the voice and writer for them. So I don't know what even they're going to do.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I would have. So High on Life apparently did pretty well.
It was a fun game.
I imagine a lot of that has to do with the fact that it was on the fucking Xbox Game Pass, but whatever.
Yeah. That's how I played it. I didn't buy that shit.
I know. That's the thing, is like the last game that they came out with, which is Trover Save the Universe, like 6 people played.
I didn't play it. It looked stupid.
Yeah, it does. So does High on Life. So, yeah, but it was free.
But High on Life was just Rick and Morty Doom. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was Rick and Morty Doom clone, and shooting people is more fun than, I don't even know what Trover Saves the Universe is, but he had 2 things in his eyes, and I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. I am so sick and tired of hearing Justin Roiland's voice. He is not even, like, he's not even good. Like,
he's not even good.
he was in Gravity Falls. He was in fucking Adventure Time, Rick and Morty, and so, like, he does 2. You're right, he does 2 voices, and he does them well. But like, that's all he has.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. That's really all you need. Is you need a crystal clear idea of something, and it has to be something relatively new. And if you can execute on that one idea well enough that other people think they can do it too, if you can do a voice such that other people imitate you doing that voice, that's it. If you just do that voice the rest of your life, you can get voice work, I'm betting.
I should try that. But speaking of voice work, I mean, Brock Baker's someone in that like he does impressions of people, and like a lot of like people get him to voice fucking Winnie the Pooh in places, or fucking Joe Swanson. Like he played the voice of Winnie the Pooh in that episode of South Park. And
nice.
And that's really cool. Cleveland Brown from Family Guy, the slow talking black guy.
Mm-hmm.
People didn't like that a white guy was voicing him, so they got a YouTube Cleveland impersonator to start voicing him now.
Okay, cool.
So that's pretty cool.
Sure.
Like, everyone's replaceable. Like I'm sure what Rick and Morty will do is they'll be like, well, now that Justin Roiland's not here, we better scour TikTok and YouTube to find the best impersonator and hire them.
I mean, that's honestly probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is, it's something, you know.
I mean, for the person they pick, hell yeah, that's break out into the industry that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't just have that voice. I mean, if you're doing other impressions, fucking sick, you can try other stuff, but like, man, you're not going to be liked for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, not even by like any fault of your own, but I feel like, I don't know, you can kind of spin that into something. Like who did the fucking who did the voice of Genie in Aladdin 2?
Dan Castellaneta.
Yeah, you're correct. It was.
He's the voice of Homer Simpson, and just because he wasn't fucking what's his name, Robert Williams.
Robin Williams, but yeah.
Robin. I was sorry, I was burping.
Roberto Williams.
Roberto De Niro.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wasn't Robin Williams, everyone shit on it. Everyone's like, that's not the Genie.
Yeah.
Fuck, I shit on him when I was playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, oh fuck, he's trying, but fuck, he sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
just doesn't bring that energy that Robin Williams has.
Yeah,
like, damn it, he's trying.
Agree. I couldn't agree more. But I imagine because he at that point had already been doing Simpsons, so that's something. But like, I imagine that if he hadn't done that, at the very least, he could be like, hey, my voice was like, I was the titular Rick and or Morty inside of Rick and Morty, right? And is that a good thing? I feel like you could spin it to be a good thing, but God, now that I'm thinking about it though, especially out here in like the Lord's year of 2023, you have like Twitter to where people would be like, you know who does the shittiest voice acting on the planet is fucking the new Morty. And that guy's like, hey, does anybody want to hire me? And they're like, oh, hey, does anybody want to hire me? Yeah, do the Morty voice, dumbass.
Yeah, get back in the booth and do the Morty voice. Okay, man.
Oh, God. I've got like other voices that I could do. I have. Yeah, no one cares. Go be bad scab Morty, idiot.
Yeah, do Justin Roiland's voice forever.
You know what? Don't even do it forever. Do it by yourself and never get paid again, because we all hate you.
I don't even want you to speak in your own voice. I want every time you come in, I want you to speak to me in that Morty voice. You no longer have a voice.
Yeah, it's gone. I've taken it from you. If I ever hear you speaking in the voice that you walked into this room with, you are gone.
Yeah, if you speak to me in your Christian voice, I'm
gonna Justin Roiland you.
But there's another thing where you can be like, yeah, out of like the dozen or so people that they lined up to do this voice.
My God, are you fucking kidding me? The dozen or so people? You mean the hundreds and thousands of recordings that they're getting like unsolicited sent to their personal inboxes? Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm assuming that they're gonna ignore that and they're gonna have what's it called, audition. Which you're probably right, hundreds.
Yeah, I also don't even think they're going to hold an audition. I think they're just going to hire someone to find, like, to clandestine, find a couple of people to read for them. Not even like an open call for audition. This isn't a situation where it's like, yeah, we'll call you. Like that. It's not we posted a thing in the newspaper and hopefully a good Morty calls us.
Like, what a power move. They get a phone call from someone just voicing Morty over the phone.
Yeah. Oh jeez, I'm trying to deliver my application to be Morty. Oh god, another one of these. No, I'm not even putting on a voice. This is just how I sound.
How funny, like, is that we already know the Morty voice so much that we both started our fucking fake thing with "Aw, geez."
That's the thing. Is like it's a good, like it's a crystalline voice. Like you know exactly how to do it, even if you have a bad. Everybody, it's like everybody has an Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation. Everybody has a Morty impersonation. It's just varying levels of good or bad. There's no one on the face of this earth that can't do a Morty impression.
Yeah. Fucking, I even think yours is pretty good, but yeah, what do I know?
Oh, thanks. I'm definitely gonna send them an email.
I'm gonna send him an email too, but I'm gonna be Rick. I won't.
Yeah.
I won't get it, but I'll do it.
Hey, it's me. I'm Rick.
Hey,
I'm Rick. Hey, Morty, it's me. I'm Rick.
Hey, it's me, Rick, doing a Rick dance. Just.
I'm gonna do the Rick dance, eh? Right, Morty?
It's me, Rick, the trash man. Just fucking.
They're like, this is, you know what? Maybe Danny DeVito will voice Morty now.
Oh shit, that'd be sick. Getting new voice actors for Rick and Morty is akin to Brian dying on Family Guy and replacing him with another dog.
Oh God!
You remember when that happened? I
do, yeah. And then they immediately took it back.
Yeah, they're like, we planned this the whole time, which I could believe. I believe since animation does take a long time to do, so I believe that maybe they did plan to do that.
So the thing is, for Justin Roiland and for Rick and Morty, I don't think this is a stunt. For the M&Ms, this may be a stunt that they're like, we're going to bring in Maya Rudolph and then we're just going to fucking blast the whole everything with M&Ms, like hot M&M action.
They're not even going to look like M&Ms anymore. They're going to be humanoid.
They're all going to be Dr. Phil.
Oh, no! No, don't fucking... Oh, no, I don't want... In a few months, like, if that happens, I'll fucking kill you. I'll drive up to your house... and I'll stab you in front of your family, and then I'll keep your family from escaping, and then they can call the cops on me for false imprisonment.
Yeah.
And then I'll be just like my hero, Justin Roiland. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. God, apparently that's the other thing is people are like, what you don't realize is that Justin Roiland texts like Morty.
Oh, shit, I heard that, yeah. He's fucking, like, the way he texts is all neurotic and shit. Like, fucking, when you read his text, it's like, you're like, why is he texting in, like, Morty? Like, he's having a fucking Morty role play as he's texting me.
Yeah, it's, boy.
Why is he fucking doing a Morty, a Rick and Morty RP? Me because he thinks I'll recognize him.
It's almost like he's doing it. He's doing an impression of himself. Like, oh man, how would Justin Roiland write a text message? Here we go.
Yeah. So because God, pull up the AI webpage and tell it to give you a fucking DM as Morty.
Yeah.
That's Justin Roiland. That's how he speaks in normal.
That's just him. Listen, and I will say, that's one of the things that people are really scared about is that like Rick and Morty just is Justin Roiland, and without Justin Roiland, Rick and Morty is nothing. And like there are talented voice actors on it that are not Justin Roiland. There are talented writers on it that are not Justin Roiland. But I am probably going to agree That at the end of the day, the fact that Justin Roiland is gone means that there is like that sort of je ne sais quoi that like made him like a person that we want to like a person whose voice we want to emulate. And that in and of itself is something that like is something about the show that makes it sort of like special and unique. And this is going to be like the end of Rick and Morty, which is honestly good.
Yeah, because then Adult Swim could probably do something else.
Then they'll bring back Metalocalypse. Maybe they'll do it this time.
Oh, son of a bitch. I'm so angry that they haven't. Metalocalypse, Harvey Birdman, I don't care what you say, fucking Bird Girl is shit, and I hate it.
Damn.
Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, fucking peak gold Adult Swim.
So what I think, me, just personally,
Okay, yeah.
I think that
I'm with you.
I think that the problem that they're going to run into is that like Adult Swim has run out of great ideas. Yeah. I don't think they employ anybody that like has a really cool or interesting or new idea about like anything. Yeah, what's going to happen or like tapping into the zeitgeist. The Justin Roiland thing was a gamble that they made that like really paid off. But like every new show that like Adult Swim comes out with is just like, I appreciate that they're pushing the creative boundaries of like what a TV show is and what it can be. And like, oh, it's like this weird kind of fucked up, but like every show that they have is like, oh, it's this weird kind of fucked up, this thing. Oh yeah. It's a show with puppets, but it's kind of weird and kind of fucked up. Oh, okay. Oh, hey, there's this cartoon. It's kind of weird and a little fucked up. It's like, all right, I got it. Everything's a little weird. Got it.
I feel like they don't hire anyone externally. They just keep it internally. And they tell them what they kind of want, and then the person writes it what they think that Adult Swim wants it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, what they need.
That I'm right there with you, because it almost sounds like, because we're not at the part where ChatGPT is writing like TV shows, but that do be sounding like, dude, somebody came in and was like, hey, we have like all the properties for Hanna-Barbera. Create a TV show that's like an Adult Swim show, but it stars, let me go through here, Jabberjaw, and then fucking whatever it is, Jabberjaw's funky car wash comes out, and it's like, oh yeah, you go into this car wash and Jabberjaw is there, and it's like it's every episode is like a different LSD trip with like a different celebrity voice comes in, and it's all like doesn't make a lot of sense, but there's like an overarching character that comes in. Like this just sounds like an Adult Swim show that doesn't make any sense, and I'm not interested.
It's not even real. It's just, yeah, man, I don't know what Adult Swim's going to do now, because, like, they don't have anything. They don't have anything to fall back on. They don't have any new ideas. At one point, they used to be, like, the beacon of new ideas and, like, pushing cartoon limits and what you can and can't, like, show on TV. Mm-hmm. But now that, like, the internet's out, there's, like, so many more people doing like better things for adult animation on just YouTube alone.
Yep.
That they can't keep up.
I'm telling you, like their best bet, and I guarantee you this is what they're gonna do. They're going to hire somebody like Meat Canyon. That's like,
oh fuck,
that's just, they're gonna hire him. They're gonna hire fucking Rubber Ross. They're gonna hire like one of the YouTube animators and be like, this is it, this is our ticket to glory, and then they're gonna come out with their show, and then it's not gonna hit the way that they think.
Dude, if they hired Meat Canyon, I think everyone would watch it. He is like, I know outside of some of the things that you've probably seen, he is a very good animator.
No, he is.
Like he tells like really good little short stories. He's very good. Mm-hmm. So I think if they hired him, like he'd probably get a show that he wanted and the way he wanted, and the way animated the way he wanted, and it'd be good. Especially if he voiced it too, because he's really good voice actor.
Yeah, I mean,
but if we got someone like fucking Flash Gets, or I haven't seen if any Rubber Ross has done anything, or even Ego Raptor. I feel like it would harken back to like Newgrounds days, and they would fall back on that. But then again, I don't keep up with those people enough to know if they've changed or like if anything has become nuanced. Although I know Ego Raptor put out like a pilot for a show, recently, and I saw it and I was like, this isn't good. So
oh my God, I'm so glad you said that, because I also watched it and was like, oh, why?
And then, but like the comments were like, "Oh hell yeah, this is funny." I'm like, "But this isn't funny."
That's the thing is like here's what's completely possible is that he's made a show that like applies to like Zoomers, and that's not my style of humor. So I don't like. I see that and I'm like, this is a bad. These jokes aren't good. This is sort of nonsensical and nothing means anything, and there's like bad continuity here, and it's just like you're defying the standards of a TV show to be like, oh, this is like this is what I think that we should be doing, but like the thing that you think that we should be doing is actually kind of dumb. That's where we are.
But here's the thing again. Like I feel like Ego Raptor, Aaron Hansen, I think that his humor hasn't changed since he put out Newgrounds content.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny back then, and sometimes it's funny to reminisce about his old stuff, but he doesn't know how to write anything more than what he's done there.
Yeah.
So I don't think he is a perfect fit for that. And if he puts out a show, good for him. I just think it's awful. I feel like it'll do good because Game Grumps, of course, they're big. It's just, it's not good, man. Like, and he's done voices for like actual cartoons before.
Yeah.
Which again is cool, and he probably has connections to do something. It's just, man, like Aaron really needs to like look inside himself and be like, is this really funny to everyone, or is it just funny to me?
That's what I'm saying is like I can't tell, right? Like I can't tell if this is just, me being like, oh, I'm 35 and what I find funny is different than like what 19-year-olds find funny.
Yeah. He's he's writing for his demographic and not for himself.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. That's why I'm saying like this isn't a thing that I enjoy, but maybe that's just because like it's not aimed at me, and that's fine.
See, but like it's, if I go back and like look at his old stuff, I still find that pretty funny. It's just that I don't find his new stuff funny,
right?
Because he hasn't changed at all.
I think I think that's the thing, is that he has, because like if you look at his older, like, the Awesome series or whatever, like you do see like there are jokes that make you laugh, like there is like, it is a lot of like random non-continuous stuff, but like it's, I don't know, it feels like it appeals to me in a way that like his newer stuff doesn't, but maybe it's just that his newer stuff appeals to a younger audience, and like he's not, like he has evolved as a creator such that like he is making a show to appeal to a younger audience, and he's no longer like, and he's like, oh, they're, that's what I want to do, or like that's his sense of humor now, and we've just sort of grown apart. And that's okay, but like,
yeah, that's okay, and that's fine. If he wants to write a dark show for a younger audience, that's fine. I just don't think it'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch it. I just don't think it'll be good. And that's not to say that he's bad. It's just that he wrote a show that is not for me.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, fucking The Odd Ones Out put a show out on Netflix, and I couldn't get past fucking episode 3. Yep. And I'm not saying it's a bad show. I just say it's not a show for me.
Yep. It's it is what it is. Whenever shows that like are by people that I like and I theoretically should enjoy come out, that's because I'm at a point in my life where I ask myself questions like, oh man, what if the red that I see is different than the red that everyone else sees? Now I get to ask myself questions like, is this not funny because it's bad, or is this not funny because I'm old? Because that's also a very valid question.
It's probably a mix of both.
Probably.
But yeah, that's neither here nor there. They should hire us to write a show.
Yeah, and they should hire us to write a show because we come out with a podcast every week that you can listen to on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. Any podcatcher, you can listen to this on every Wednesday, 5 a.m. We put in a new episode, but we also stream the show live earlier than that, obviously, because it's currently 10:56 p.m. And this is coming out like in a week. So yeah, you can watch that at twitch.tv/GoGetUsPodcast. You can also follow us on YouTube if you don't want to watch live. The new episode comes out in the afternoon after the podcast is released at 2. And you get to see the full episode. You can see all of the just fun palaces that we looked at today on YouTube.
All the fun sight gags.
Yeah. And if you enjoy sight gags, we also come out with a new YouTube short and TikTok every week on our YouTube channel and on our TikTok channel. So go follow us there.
And those are all a treat, baby. That's for you.
Yeah. You know what? We're salt baying them every week just for you.
Yeah. At no cost to you, at all cost to us. But yeah, no, good segue. Good segue, because we are at the end of the show.
We have been at the end of the show for 15 minutes.
Yeah, of course. But, I like to drag my fucking feet. Get off my back. Just
okay.
So, yeah, everyone follow, and subscribe on everything that Colby just said, because he just said it, and you should do it.
Yep.
Follow us on all that stuff. And as always, what I want you to do... I want you to take Justin Roiland.
Okay.
Put him on push him in a portal.
Okay.
And have him land on the ball slap planet.
Okay.
And tie him to a tree where he can get his ball slapped for eternity. And then go and audition for Rick and Morty. And when they give you the call back that you got the job, go get him.
Go get him. Man.
God.
Is this like a Sisyphus situation? It's like, is Justin Roiland now just like every day he gets his balls slapped into oblivion and then he passes out from the pain and he wakes up and his balls have regenerated and somebody is coming up to slap him again? Or
yeah, that's the physics of the planet. Like, you can get your balls ripped off and then they grow back.
Damn. That's a rough planet, dog.
I wouldn't put it past the show to have a planet like that. They got an ass planet.
The thing is, if you've got like infinitely regenerating balls, that does mean you have to start to figure out a way to use them as a fuel source. And I don't know how that's going to happen, but like it has to.
Like, it's not infinitely for everyone, just for Justin.
Oh, well then it's just Justin's balls that power the whole planet. I don't know how they're going to get that to happen, but they just rip them off and then they like crunch them into a fine oil, and they use that oil to power their various technologies. Yeah, good old ball oil. Go to your local Tesco and pick up your ball oil.
Go stop at your local Buc-ee's on your way to Space Australia. And pick up a can of ball oil and rub it on your legs.
Yeah, to power your legs. We really lost the plot on this one. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.